Hello everybody and welcome back to another new vlog. Thank you for joining me once again. I've come back to this little bit of woodland because I was here a few weeks ago talking about how the power of Mother Nature creates these beautiful images for us. And at the time it rained quite heavily, just for about 10 minutes, and I had to try and get under a bit of shelter and get out of the way of the rain. So I walked through this bit of woodland and along this path, and I kind of decided at that point that I was going to have to come back to this little bit of woodland and see if I could capture a few shots here one day. So here I am. But also I'm in this bit of woodland because I was trying to get out of the way of large groups of people who were walking around and just stopping suddenly right in the middle of a path, not allowing anybody else to get through, making it impossible for anybody to walk anywhere or do anything. And everywhere I'm going at the moment there seems to be groups of people doing exactly the same thing. I've been walking along this path and I've found a little composition about 100 yards back from where I'm standing right now. But as I was stood there probably about to set up the composition, I heard some people in the background and turned around, and lo and behold, another large group of people all running through the woodland chasing each other. And there was no way I could have stopped there and taken a photo and told you all about the photo and not been in their way. So I decided I would wait a little while until they'd gone. They seem to have passed now, so I'm going to pop back to that little spot that I'd found a composition and see if I can recompose that and get a shot there. So I'm glad I went back there to capture that shot. I've managed to capture about 5 or 6 shots of it, and I think I'm probably going to end up bracketing the last 3 of those. So I hope you like the image I've just shown you. I just like the way the path was kind of causing a bit of an S-curve through the trees at that spot. Just looked perfect, and I thought it was a nice little composition to get us started for the day. But you have to excuse me. Let me apologise for my little rant earlier about other people getting in the way of me doing what I'm doing. But it does really get on my tits a little bit when all I'm trying to do is take a photo and people just want to get in the way. So apologies for that. It's just one of those things I have to kind of consider, that there are other people in the landscape every now and then as well. And I bang on about going out and about and enjoying nature, but please, if you could, just keep out the way of my shot from time to time, that would be great. It just so happens, of course, that as I was finishing up that shot and I managed to pack everything away, picked all my stuff up and looked up, and there was another group of people walking straight towards me. Not even on the path, they were walking through the woodland, but they were walking straight towards me, and obviously they would have been in my way at some point as well. So I'm glad I managed to get the shot. Anyway, I'm going to go and see if I can find something else now to warm the cockles a little bit. I decided to take a path I've never walked along before, which is quite interesting in this particular area. It's difficult to find some of the paths that I've never walked on before because there's so many of them around here that I have walked on, but this is a new one on me. It's not far from somewhere else I have been walking before, so I'm not lost or anything like that. But I discovered a sign just at the end of this path, and it was quite an interesting sign because what it was telling me is that this area is a scheduled ancient monument and a national nature reserve. I know those things anyway because I've been here that many times, but it's currently under what they call a higher level stewardship, and it's something to do with the heathland around here, which you can see behind me obviously, which has been eroded and worn away by many years of basically people like me walking around and the environment really. So what they're trying to do is try to recapture some of that heathland and regrow it and allow it to thrive and bring us more and more nature and woodland creatures again. So I think that's a good thing. At the moment it looks a bit bare and empty, but there's quite an interesting shot just over my shoulder with a few silver birch trees just over here in this direction. So I think I might stop here and get the long lens out and see if I can capture a shot of those. But I like the area of heathland just in front of it, leading the eye towards those trees. So I'll set this one up and see if I can capture a shot here. Well, I'm glad I checked my composition just then. I'd got the 17 to 40mm lens on, and I had a look at the composition at 40mm, and it was just slightly too wide. So that's why I was considering using the longer 70 to 300mm lens, probably at 70mm, to try and capture that shot. But actually, when I checked again, I realised that in fact the 50mm lens would have been a much better option. So instead of getting the 70 to 300mm out, I got the 50mm lens out. Hopefully that's worked out quite nicely. And once again, I've bracketed the shots because there's a huge dynamic range going on in this area at the moment, thanks to all the trees and the bright sunshine that keeps popping out through from behind clouds. So hope you like that shot. I think this path is going to lead me to somewhere where I've been before, so I'm going to keep walking, see what else I can find along this path. Got a bit of a tough decision to make here now, folks. Just here there's a path, and about 250 yards away along that path there's an ice cream van. But if I carry on in the opposite direction along that path, this path here, then further down this way past the car park and some distance away, probably about half a mile, maybe a mile, there's an area that I'd like to explore that I've never explored before. So my choices are, do I go straight down that path to the area that I want to explore, or do I carry on the other way and get an ice cream and then go and explore? It's quite a difficult choice, folks. Wonder which one I'll choose. I think all of us knew exactly what the answer was going to be, didn't we? Always get the ice cream first and then start your walk. Okay, so I'm not quite at the area that I was thinking of exploring, but I am at an area that is quite interesting to me. This road here, just across the road, is the golf course about which, or upon which, should I say, I've probably encroached once or twice, 3 times. Okay, 4 maybe, but who's counting? Anyway, just as these cars go past me and this van, what I noticed as I'm walking along this road is this tree here. It's on the other side of the road, and there's a little area here where the cars can pull in and park up for people to get out and walk the dogs along the road, or to go to the golf course or whatever. But as I walked along, I saw this tree and I thought, well, that's going to be perfect for a composition. And from the other side of it, it looked way too dark. But as I got around here and noticed how good it looked from this side of the tree, I thought, well, I've got to stop here and get a photo. The difficulty, of course, is it would have meant standing in the road. So for this one, I've had to pull out the long lens, 70 to 300mm. I think because I'm stood at the opposite side of the road where you can see these cars going past every few minutes, so I didn't want to be in the way of those. But I also wanted to get tight in on the trunk and a few of these branches, these limbs that are just coming out of the tree. So I've got a portrait orientation shot of that. It's not the whole tree, it's just the main part of this bit of the tree here. So the most interesting part of it, shall we say. So I've taken that shot, hope you like that shot, and I'm going to move on and see if I can find this area that I was thinking of exploring. I could be completely wrong, of course. I am very close to the golf course now, just over in that direction, not all that far away, 250 yards or so maybe, is one of the tees for the golf course itself. And as I turn around here, you'll notice this area behind me, this is part of the fairway also of what I think is the first tee where I'm standing now. So this is the area that I wanted to be in. It's not a very big area, but I knew that there was a possibility of getting in here, and I knew that if I could get in here there was a possibility of finding something fairly decent in here. And lo and behold, this guy here needs his portrait taking. So I'm just looking around on the path I'm standing on at the moment. I'm going to try and find the perfect spot to stand and take this shot, but it's quite muddy here, so I want to try and find somewhere where I can put my bag down and set everything up and set my tripod up and get this shot. I also like this little bit of path that runs here through behind the trees, so this is quite an interesting one. And like I say, I'm literally just a few yards now from the golf course, but I think I'm also not all that far from the exit of the park as well, so it's just a case of finishing off here and then getting on my way, I think. So I'll set this shot up and take this shot now of this tree. That's it then, folks. I'm going to make that the last shot of the day. Hope you enjoyed coming along on this little walk with me. I really like that tree. I didn't realise I was going to capture that today, nor the previous one a few hundred yards down the road. Hope you've enjoyed coming along on the journey with me today, and if you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, and please also remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I post videos at least once a week, sometimes twice, and I look forward to seeing you again on another vlog very soon. Bye for now.